So bootleg Mobu is dead. Interesting. Interesting turn of events. Man's got betrayed by Yoko, then decided to suicide. Glad that happened, I guess. But I guess we get to move on from this part of the battle now, which is welcome since it drastically decreased in quality ever since Tan entered the picture. And we get to focus on the big Mamu Rakuan. That's the main takeaway from all this, but if you've seen my last couple chapter reviews, you know I shared similar sentiments for weeks now, and did this chapter really change anything? Shin and Bootleg Mobile are clashing, and it's pretty clear the duel is about to come to an end. It's a fiery face off, some very intense panels, and Shin has the upper hand, and he's dominating the fight, and Bootleg Mobile is just trying to hold on at this point, trying to muster up whatever willpower he can to turn the tides. Pretty straightforward chapter, but did I like it? I mean, the clash was cool. There's that unique way for Shin to kill a major commander. I like how more focus was on the opposing commander and his emotions. Shin said a few words to him and then just got to work. Shin wasn't necessarily in speech mode for this fight, even though the subject matter was heavy stuff and something that does affect Shin too, as there was valid reasoning to paint him as a scumbag. But Shin trying to prove Bootleg Mobile wrong would kind of be a dickish move since he isn't objectively wrong, nor is Shin objectively wrong, but Shin is the one invading, so it's just a tough situation. So I like how Shin said his piece, then was straight about that action, no extra words necessary. I liked how Bootleg Mobile's resolve was shown. Like with Gokei, Hara did a good job with the reasoning for their flawed mentality that ultimately was their undoing. Gokei having seen the horrors himself and his trauma wouldn't allow him to let a similar feeling situation unfold, and Bootleg Mobile being one of the only two people that can stand up for the bullied and oppressed state of Han. The thought of showing any kind of submission disgusted him, and as someone who had the dignity to stand by Han instead of accepting invitations to join the military of other states, you gotta respect his resolve and why his last stand meant so much to him. He wasn't about to try to slither away like a little weasel, desperately trying to prolong any chance he can get hiding from big bad kin like you'd expect Han would. He wanted to show Han's true strength and the strength one obtains from having that type of weight on his shoulders. It's too bad Shin realized if he cut his shoulders clean off his body, it wouldn't matter what type of weight he's carrying on them, but I did like Hakuo's last stand from a character standpoint. Wish there was more to his character, so it felt like this was all worth it for how lame the strategical aspect of this battle was. Like, this was a cool duel, cool conclusion, and some nice characterization for a bootleg mobile, but not enough to be satisfied with that as the main appeal of this battle between the Haishin unit and Hakuo army. It felt like a side dish that was nice to get, if anything. And it, of course, brought on the problems of it being pretty bland battle wise and making Shin look fucking awful as the commander. People were confused, I guess, last time I mentioned it, so I'll put it in simple terms. Shin looked bad as a commander because his instincts were pretty much useless and he easily fell for the trap. I initially thought it wasn't that bad because, like Bayo Mobu, Shin was justified in thinking he can withstand whatever trap they'd have in store for him, but that was proven very wrong and very quickly. And the fact that he didn't do much else besides fight someone decently strong and get bailed out by Tan and Hakuo not retreating, that makes this an extremely underwhelming battle for Shin to get a GG promotion, or for him to take out his first state. This doesn't even feel like Riboku versus Kanki arc Shin or Shukai Plains Shin. This feels like Sanyo Shin, just a meathead, that's all he's good for. Why I say it's bland is because Shin wars usually go one of two ways. Either getting to the duel is the interesting and difficult part, or the duel itself is the interesting part. Getting to the duel was seemingly made trivial, because it seems like if Shin can make it to the duel, it's coffers, game over, but that idea was flipped on its head. And I thought Hara put Shin in a really interesting predicament, where he can't just Shin smash his way through, and now it's very unpredictable how we'll get out of this and turn it around. Well, that was trivialized by Tan, and the rest of the fighting wasn't all that intense. Shin beat someone up who he was always going to beat up, so what's the interesting part here? Getting to the duel wasn't it, and the duel wasn't it. Was it supposed to be the Haishin unit bump squad stepping up? If that's the highlight, then that's how you know the battle's been pitiful. Let's keep it real. It seemed like this battle was going to play in your expectations in a really cool way, where you think it's a typical Kingdom S battle, then that gets flipped on its head and, oh shit, what the fuck do we do now? It's getting really interesting. This is really out of the ordinary, but nope. That was trivialized, and Shin just beat Bootleg Mobile's ass while Yoko's eating crumpets and drinking tea and watching, I guess. Like I said, Bootleg Mobile's last stand from a character standpoint was good. The final page was good. Clean kill. But is this a worthy climax to one half of a battle for an entire state? Even the typical Haitian unit victory page was lame and gay. It wasn't like the Sanyo or Coalition victory page, that's for damn sure. So what does that leave us with? Hopefully Rakwan's last stand doesn't get trivialized. Hopefully he stays looking as legit as he has. I might honestly prefer Shin to go help Toe so he can use his instincts. Something to redeem him, because him beating a 94 strength guy sure as hell doesn't. It would be disastrous for Toe fans, but it might be the better of the two options. But anyways, I'm gonna wait and see what happens on the Rakwan side. I've been loving that side of the battle so far, but then again, I really like Shin's side until his father Tan stepped in, so I don't know, but I'll be optimistic about Hara's handling of Rakwan. I don't think he'll do him dirty. Or will he?